The biggest lie that this industry will tell you is that you've just got to suck it up. Fuck that. You need to attack this season. And there's a specific strategy that we run twice a year, every year. The reason why you're going to have a killer spring on the other side of winter is because you've absolutely played the right game throughout winter.
People are still buying. People are spending money on the things that they care about. Your job is to make sure you're one of them. All you need to do, really, is most of the time when we run this, it's somewhere around 85 to 90% of the people who execute will retain 80% of their revenue or more, and somewhere between 40 to 50% fucking grow. He had 0% churn over December. What? 0 fucking percent. Not because they're hiding cancels on suspension. They had high member engagement, community engagement, connection, and friendly competition. This is elite.
Now we're talking about winter. Whoever is the most helpful to the market, full stop.
And if you do this properly the first time, your members will literally beg you to do it again before you're even ready.
You know winter's coming and you blew out to 10% last year.
The biggest thing that I need everyone to understand, do not wait. Oh my God, it's coming.
Oh my God,
What?
Winter.
Oh,
Or
summer.
summer for our Northern Hemisphere peeps.
The death gap, we as we
This
fondly call it.
is like the cancels are probably coming through, the suspensions are probably coming through. So it's just come in straight off the back of running a seasonal retention masterclass for our academy. We do it every single year.
Twice a year.
Twice a year, rather. I'll let you fill in the gaps because I know you've got a fucking page full of notes. But I just want to set the scene, okay? Like
Go.
right back at the start when we had our very first studio, our first winter was like as bleak as seen from the Game of Thrones.
No, I remember it. So we'd had a really good, like, summer was okay.
Yeah, because it was just our first one.
Yeah, it was our first one, right? So yeah, the studio was growing, and then like the lead up into winter was great. Studio was on track, and then like 3 months of work just went down the dunny.
Just literally walked out the door.
Yeah.
And
went to Europe.
went to Europe when they were allowed to. If you look at your mind body reports, whatever software you use, like there's two big fucking dips in the year. There's winter and there's typically Christmas, right? In the Southern Hemisphere. The biggest lie that this industry will tell you is that you've just got to suck it up.
Yeah, just get through it.
Just get through
Yeah,
it.
there'll be spring soon, you know.
Just plan for the other side. Do some housekeeping, right? Fuck that. You need to attack. You need to attack this season. And there's a specific strategy that we run twice a year, every year. We won't give you all the details, obviously, because it's, top secret squirrel, but we'll give most of it, won't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think we already have an episode on it. But we'll give you the 2025.
I'll throw to you to give some stats and all sort of stuff. But team, like, do not wait for winter to be over to start your push. Because by the time you come back into late August, September, and you're coming back into spring, all right, here we go, you're back to play. The game's over.
The year's almost done by then.
The game is over. The reason why you're going to have a killer spring on the other side of winter is because you've absolutely played the right game throughout winter. That's the biggest thing that I need everyone to understand. And right now, it's never been more apparent, relevant, real. You've probably opened up your inbox this morning and seen a couple of cancels and a couple of suspensions. Yeah? So every time that happens, there's revenue leaving the door. And it's even harder to bring them back.
Yep.
So, go.
So I think I want to start with exactly what I started with the other guys is the whole premise of this is just don't believe that everyone needs to save money and like things are hard out there. We've said this before, but the healthcare sector from all the economists is going up, 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 up. And you fucking sell health and wellness. People are still buying. We've all heard about my 14 gym memberships. People are spending money on the things that they care about. Your job is to make sure you're one of them. And this is my favorite time of year, these two internal retention programs. The reason is because if we all, banked on the fact that everyone was super motivated and everyone could just wake up and just like get to the gym and do burpees next to their bed and it'd be no problem, they wouldn't fucking need you. So this is literally your time to shine. This is where you get to deliver on the promises you made on that sales call by being there for them and doing something to help them out at the worst time of the year where they usually fall off track. It's if we're just saying that we're going to help people when it's easy, then we're not world class. And
No.
I'm pretty sure you didn't sign up for a full business just to be okay. So I want you to remove any no one, everyone mindset as well as you listen to this. Like, this time of year is when your members need you most, and it's smart business. So give them a reason to keep training. And it costs you a lot if you don't do this. You don't get a full 12-month financial year. It's a pretty bad business to be in if you can only get 8 to 10 months worth because you just sit on your hands and wait. Hate that. So the answer is to create a program that changes the behavior of your members and keeps them training and paying all season long. Dozer obviously said he created this out of some pain, and it became a massive thing where the members like begged us, and we've now run this across thousands of studios. Some paid us to help them with it,
And some just
and
took
some
the
just
apps.
took it and
and just
push
ran
it
the
a
wrong
little
play.
bit, but whatever.
Team
Like,
version.
you
That's
go.
what happens when you just steal you swap the tactic without understanding the strategies. You get the team move version. Exactly.
Yeah. And it's so cool to see like so many people across the world with, repping this thing. So this is all about giving your members a meaningful reason to keep training, not throw their hard work away, and also make it a massive festival vibe. You know, if you're not super motivated to roll out of bed, warm bed, snooze the alarm, whatever, it's like way more attractive than getting in there and like tearing it up. As per previous episode, what would need to be true for that not to be the case? So it's all just a massive distraction. What I'm about to tell you, all you need to do really is keep these guys training at least once a week. And I'm going to show you how. So the stats on this is most of the time when we run this, it's somewhere around 85 to 90% of the people who execute will retain 80% of their revenue or more. And somewhere between 40 to 50% fucking grow.
Unheard of.
Now, I know that we're actually in winter at the moment, but I have some screenshots of some people saying their results from doing this. This is elite. Someone said the percentage of members suspending was down compared to this time last year. Had 1% churn over the last month and a bit. But the most pleasing thing was we have full sessions in the first week of Jan. So much more engagement compared to last year. Thank you, Summer Survivor. So I'm about to introduce this concept to you. It's Winter Warrior Summer Survivor, but 1% churn. Another one here had 0% churn over December. What?
Fucking hell.
0% Not because they're hiding cancels on suspension. They had high member engagement, community engagement, connection, and friendly competition. Someone else, having members engaged over Christmas and New Year's with Summer Survival, not just a dead gym like last year, actually growing.
Now we're talking about winter.
I know. Yeah, it's the same thing. Running Winter Warrior seems to have been the difference in those requesting suspensions. Our churn ratio has also improved and we have way more revenue.
All right.
So here's how it works. The OG Seasonal Retention Program. It's a behavior change program, and the behavior change trifecta is 1. Write this down. It's a threshold-based competition. So what you're trying to do is get your members to hit a minimum amount of sessions over a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 week period, whatever you choose, with a leaderboard and social proof every single week to track the progress and get a bit of heat around it. And this is all about unlocking an identity, a status of becoming a warrior or a survivor.
Or you can call it whatever you want.
Or call it whatever you want. It's based on 2 books around behavior change. So Hooked. Do you want to talk about Hooked?
Well, Hooked was it's the big yellow book. It's one of the books that really changed how I viewed our memberships and like how people actually engage. It's basically a book about how Silicon Valley makes these apps so we become addicted and hooked. For most of us that run these types of studios, the answer is attendance.
Yeah. And so based on brain science, getting them hooked to putting themselves up on the leaderboard and even being in their own little race to hit the right amount of sessions, plus atomic habits. So helping these people build, usually at the worst time of the year, where they will pull back, pull on the big black hoodie, put on an extra winter layer of fat, and feel pretty crap. We're helping them to to stack habits. So making it visible with a leaderboard, making things achievable and easy. So getting them to do a certain amount of sessions that's actually like, it's not, they're slogging it out.
Yeah, they're not doing doubles 7 days a week.
No, like
No, the doubles are banned.
it's 1 or 2
They don't
sessions a
count.
week on average to get there. Yeah, and it's also like reinforcing that behavior because they get a point every time they do it. And on top of that, the shirt. So like we still to this day can't believe the way
This is like the magic trick, right?
Yeah.
Like what happens when you
There are
throw
a couple of magic
these
tricks.
grown
You
at
throw
us
a bit of merch in and people go
grown
fucking
ass
crazy.
adults just love some free merch, love a little like star sticker system. But what we did was anyone who unlocked that identity, that status, they would receive a Winter Warrior hoodie designed for that year or a Summer Survivor tank or whatever type of merch that you'd like. And for the price of what's a shirt these days?
$15-$14.
Yeah, like you kept that person paying for 8 weeks over winter.
$77 a week.
$77. I like that kind of a
Unexpected
return.
benefit of this, I remember, like, fucking hell, shout out to everyone who was trying to check members into their fucking apps. Like, getting members to check themselves in was the bane of our existence for years and years and years.
Yeah.
You spend $14 on a singlet. All of a sudden, grown ass man's like, "Oh, you didn't check me in this morning." You know, as soon as there's there's a consequence from not checking in. A, they started checking in for this bloody singlet, but B, they're checking for the rest of their lives after that.
Yeah, and before you come and ask for a template, like just understand the principles of what we're talking about here. It is a behavior change program that taps into identity and status, which is like powerful tools of persuasion.
Yeah. So the whole thing behind the design as well, that was just something to consider. And I said to my guys on the call this morning, please don't make it fugly. Like, we want it to be something that they would wear to the cafe.
I'm not, like,
Why would you wear that? No, it's like straight to the PJ drawer.
Not even.
No, yeah. So just make it something that's a bit more athleisure. But the inspiration behind that was those Spartan races, the finisher shirts.
Again, it's just like, you know, we still to this day, if you're old enough to remember the 2000 Olympics, you still see people wearing the volunteers' outfits.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Or like as when they've just finished City to Surf, they're wearing that shit all day long.
Dude, I saw someone with one of our Winter Warrior glebe jumpers on
Wasn't that
at
a junkie?
Ham in Cronulla.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Like,
Yeah. Gangster.
45 minutes away from the studio. The studio has now closed after the
Probably
second
picked it up from
owner.
Vinnie's. Yeah.
And they are still wearing it. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. So the high level process, if you wanted to roll this out, is really simple, but there are levels to it. So if it's your first time kind of doing something like this, don't try and go too fancy. It's an attendance goal and weekly leaderboard. It's the limited edition merch, and it's make it noisy as fuck. It needs to feel different in there. What this isn't is a challenge. What this isn't is a shred. What this isn't is a calorie deficit. It's also not a marketing campaign. It's an internal retention
so
program.
People they're like,
Try and get fucking smart.
I'm already seeing ads now
Yeah.
from our clients and some non-clients, and I just go, that's not the point. That's not the point. But the reason why people have grown was because, you know, for growth you need both. You need retention and acquisition, right? What actually happened behind the stat was they kept all their people, and then people from other studios were like, what's
going on over there?
what's going on over there? And then they just crawled across because this year were doing fuck all.
Yeah. Level 2, you can do all of that and add in some weekly missions, but like fun things. So we had winter warmer recipes. Like we created a community created cookbook with all of their winter warmer healthy recipes. You know, and yes, this is for people who are in Europe as well. We had people planking in Rome, and submitting proof, and that's amazing user generated
People
content.
weren't like, when we did a couple of laps of this, people were going away and then saying, hey, I'm going away. Don't put me on pause.
Please don't put me on pause.
Don't put me on pause.
Just tell me what to
Give
do.
me some
so I can-
workouts.
yeah,
And
so
then we did.
I want to check in from overseas.
And then the pro level of this is we had a remote survivor or remote warrior aspect of it.
And yeah, like level 3, you can do more amazing things like weekly prizes and awards, partner with local businesses. Like
You're not sponsored by Guzman.
99 Bikes, Guzman,
fucking yellow
Humming
socks.
Puppy Yoga,
Shit.
Lululemon. There was so many. Yeah.
10x thinking.
And then we would also do teams and stuff like that, which was really cool.
Yeah.
You got to be the right time for it, but you know.
We could never crack teams two times in a row.
No, but like to have a team rock up in like full tradie outfits for Spirit Week was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
at Christmas time, it was like in Santa suits and
Yeah.
yeah,
Slutty
hilarious.
Santa.
Yeah, but like Spirit Week, so it was like they're the only ones dressed up in that session.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
So yeah, if you were looking to do this, you just need to come up with a status or identity-based name. You need to set a time frame with an achievable number of sessions. If you're Pilates or something, you've got like 2 a week, just apply the principles. You know your people better than we do. If your yogis aren't competitive, same deal. Like you just figure it out based on your people. We would always do a survey to ask our members, what do you actually need to keep you motivated and training over insert season here? They would tell us, and that's great social proof. You fucking asked for this, so you're doing it.
60-second survey. Yeah, we almost kind of made it seem like it was their idea.
Yeah, totally.
That was the point of it. But yeah, this is like, if people are turning up to your studios, anyone can run this. Yeah, it's an attendance based is the metric, is how you track it. But it's a behavior change program steeped in status and identity, right? And no one doesn't want to be the thing that we are heroing throughout this process.
Yeah.
And in all the comms that we built around this, because it's very different to like, we've seen paying clients roll this out and wonder why it didn't work and the 1 out of 15 times doesn't work. And we read it and go, well, that's fucking why, mate. You just stuck up a poster up and just hopefully they knew. Like you put zero effort into that. And also, your team had no idea about it.
Yeah, there's a full rollout plan.
There's a full rollout plan. We won't get into that. But like just the same way that, you know, LeBron James, like the ROI on a basketball for LeBron James is gazillions. The ROI for me on a basketball is a fucking broken shoulder that I'm struggling with at the moment. So it's the same thing with here. It's like, it's the same concept. You can either like, and like it changed your business twice a year, like it did for ours and then most people in, or you're going to grab some of this, slap something together on Canva, take it to Officeworks and print out a couple of A4s and wonder why it didn't work.
Yeah. No, you got to build the hype around it. There's a whole rollout plan and your team does need to know about it. And I think also just remembering, like, we want everyone to hit this thing. It's not really about the competition.
No one comes first.
But
that's
the
big thing people don't
leaderboards,
realise.
the leaderboards satisfy some bragging rights. But
Massive
yeah, we want to
bragging
keep
rights.
everyone's skin in the game right up until the end. So we never had a first, second, third. It was the top 5 and 1 prize for one of those.
There's also like cheeky little things that we used to do, like little nuanced things like that. We used to create controversy in the leaderboard.
Yeah, we love that. Well,
by, like,
I think it
taking
was
some points off
an
people.
accident. It was an accident at first that I fucked up someone's like score because I think they were training remote and I forgot to sign them in or something like that. And
about it, right?
they all like sounding off in the comments like, no, I did 7 sessions, not 4 or whatever. And I was like, Doze, I'm so sorry. I've completely like fucked this up. Like I didn't realize. And he's like, no, I love it. I was
Because
The
what?
dance, right?
No,
Engagement.
the algorithm.
Because they fucking care. That's
The
why.
algorithm was like, it was loving it. People
Yeah.
were taking each other. Soph, is this right? Oh my god! I was
So
like,
then
Soph, don't touch it.
yeah.
Let him.
Because that means they care. And
These
once
were like-
again,
these were-
distracted. They're still paying.
These were like professionals.
Yeah.
Okay, so like Michael Short, like lawyers, accountants, doctors, surgeons. Like these are all these. Like think about this. On Monday morning, they're supposed to be like
banter.
operating on people. They're like, hang on, I had more points than this.
Yeah.
This is like fucking epic. We
I
are
know.
literally taken over their winter.
And then we did it on purpose, especially with the couples. Love doing that.
Yeah.
Just like they're trained together, but we put like the guy on like left.
Whoops.
I'm just going to read out just for some messaging, but like it needs to be obvious that you're doing this. Doze already touched on that, but the studio needs to feel different. Like put some fucking beach balls in there, put some skis in there. I don't care, but it needs to feel different. Posters, make it obvious. I was announcing it at every single session. It was like, you have to opt out actually. Like you're doing this.
Had to be living under a rock on another planet not to realise that this thing was happening.
Yeah.
And something is coming.
Yeah.
And it's been coming for a couple of weeks while we're trying to figure out what the fuck it is that is actually coming.
And that is the secret. We never knew. We just launched it and then we would figure it out. But yeah, just for some positioning, not for you to copy and paste, but we're doing winter differently. Our annual Winter Warrior program is back. Bigger and better than ever. This is going to be the reason why you beat winter. And it's completely free for all of our members who complete it. And this year we have big prizes and a brand new sponsor, more soon. Who is this for? Anyone prone to winter rhinitis, which was what we made up.
A disease.
What does that look like? It's a common disease where a little bit of rain and crisp mornings bring on a sudden bout of amnesia, where sufferers suddenly forget their health goals and the reason why they started along their fitness journey in the first place. There is only one cure, and that is to participate in our high energy, high fun group competition, Winter Warrior. And then we talked about how it works. But you think about like even avatar. Like, we got inside their brains. So there's another part that says what to expect. Instead of missing your workout, it's been your most consistent winter ever. Instead of feeling miserable for 3 months, people at work are complimenting how vibrant you seem. Instead of just letting the winter pounds pack on, you've given yourself a head start on building your summer body. Instead of only wearing black jumpers because it's slimming,
We're all in black.
Ouch.
yeah, you're feeling confident and strong because you just nailed your first chin-up with no bands. Yeah, and ultimately, instead of succumbing to the old me and letting winter beat you, this version of you, the one that you invented in January, decided to take control this winter.
Oi, it went off. It went off. If there was one thing you can do for your business, for your bottom line, for your accountant, for your Christmas holidays that you want to have, you know, you've got to run a program like this. You've got to run a program like this.
Yeah.
Your members, like, do it for your members. I know it seems like it's going to be extra work. It's extra work, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Well,
But it's a
you
lot
can,
fucking harder filling up your gym from empty again. I'll tell you
yeah,
what.
or like you can spend the time processing suspensions and cancels,
Yeah.
or just fucking doing this.
So decide,
Yep.
design it, get your team together, like enroll them in the excitement for this. Okay, your team needs to vibe off. Like it was so important that you guys at the team at the studio knew how excited I was for it, and I brought you to the purpose of what we were doing for the members. Right, like, hey guys, like these guys are going to lose their hope. They're going to lose their belief through this next 3 months. Like, if they can't fucking rely on us, then what the fuck? Like, how are we even asking for their money? So I made it like our responsibility to put our membership, like to put our members on our backs and take them through
Yeah.
the worst part of the year for them, and also our business. Well, second worst.
But it was not only that, like it was also, you know, you're going to be coming in and coaching anyway, so you may as well have like a vibey full session
Yeah.
than just complain about the fact that it's quiet.
Yeah, yeah. So like, you know, I remember like rolling through, like we did the launch video together. Like I filmed you guys in the launch video, like massive energy.
We watched one of those today. It was so
Horrific.
cringe. I had
Yeah,
to turn it off.
It was horrific. But like we dropped it in the Facebook group, it went on our socials, not as ads, but just as content. And just like we got them to, you know, again, as like little ways that we got them to like jack the algorithm is like the first mission, if you were in level 2 or 3, the first mission was to like comment an emoji, like the freezing emoji, underneath the post, and it would show this massive social engagement, right? Which then kept feeding it to everyone else out there in the local area and all their friends, which was awesome to see. So you firstly decide. Secondly is get fucking excited. The third thing is get your team pumped about it, enroll them into the real purpose of what we're doing and the responsibilities that we have as a studio owners through this period for our members. And then make sure that you get your members pumped about it as well. Clear is better than cute, especially if you're doing this for the first time. Get them pumped about it, get them engaging, and then every single week, like the kicker was that leaderboard. They just get in that cycle of that
like crack,
leaderboard
wasn't it?
Yeah, if
and
you
get that social proof. Get that social proof out there on you know your stories and all that kind of stuff, and just like make it a festival happening in your studio. Because if I'm Johnny 3 studios down, I'm thinking my studio is fucking boring as batshit. Like walking into the studio right now, seeing sessions smaller, the vibe's gone. And so many of these class-based studios, it's all about vibes. But if you're peeking through like the window of another studio that's got like fogged up windows because
What the fuck's going on
what's
there?
going on in there? And you see people walking out and they're like high-fiving, having fun, and you know they're in their winter warmer outfits or whatever it is. It's like, fuck, I'm in the wrong crowd. That's
Yeah.
what it's about. And not just because of this, but because when it comes to about midway through August and the sun peeks through again and everyone else kind of tries to come back and start putting some money on some Facebook ads, they have to start from, you know, a 50% drop, 40% drop. You might have already got some of their members. You've actually stolen some market share off these pussies, and you're out there now, and then you go with your first campaign, you pull the trigger on your first campaign, you go out there and you land grab, right? You bring those people in because you helped your people through the toughest part, they didn't. That's the point. If you want to, like, whoever is the most helpful to the market wins. Full stop.
Yep. And if you do this properly the first time, your members will literally beg you to do it again before you're even ready.
So when you come out in about November and you say, summer's coming, and they go, what does that mean? And you go,
You wait.
You will fucking
You
see.
fucking wait.
the next one, they're going to like, fuck it, are we doing it again, are we? Like, wait, and if you fucking like this one, the next one's even better.
Yeah. And we haven't figured it out yet, but we will.
What else do they need to know before we wrap this tactical episode up? This was like only because Soph just has literally just
Hot off the press, right?
hot off the press, and we know it's a thing for you guys.
Your
right now.
checklist for success: decide on dates, timeframes, and a name. Set an achievable session threshold. Create your launch video and rollout plan. Create sign-up forms and QR code posters. Design your exclusive merch and maximize member uptake. It needs to be obvious. Then weekly, you've got to keep the hype alive. Hype it internally and in studio, so with your team and with your members. Post social proof to create FOMO. Post the weekly scoreboard. Fuse your members to get amongst it. Reply to posts. Encourage them to share. Keep the energy high, and then you've got to finish strong. Count down to the finish line. Create a highlight reel of all the different moments. Get social proof photos with limited edition merch, and congratulate and hype up the winner. Tell their story on socials. Use all of this to your advantage so that you can market it again next time.
Yeah, and look, what I will say just to wrap this thing up is, how do you know you should run this? Okay, so in our world, 4 to 5% churn is like maximum. A lot of people we meet that come to us, they're at like 8 to 10% churn. If you get anywhere near that, that would be considered an emergency for us. It's kind of like walking into your studio on the first day of the year and just going, okay, well, basically I'm going to spend most of my year, like up until about October, November, just replacing my membership. And then I've only got December to grow. If you're anywhere near 8%, 9% and that kind of shit, like, it is a leak. There's a problem. There's a fire in your house right now. You got to get that sub 4, sub 5, okay? And that's where we get people through over winter.
Yeah, and keep it there over winter. Yeah, absolutely.
Because our industry, like our average in the academy is what?
Oh, it's like it goes between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But you just heard like 0 and 1. Is that okay?
So if you're on the other side of 2 and 3%, and you're like, fuck, I need to do something.
And you know winter's coming, and you blew out to 10% last year. What do they do?
Just down in the show notes, there'd be a link to book in with us to have a chat with our team, because it's absolutely, at that point you are suffering, and it's completely optional. Like, these are completely solvable problems. They're like first level problems. There's the other stuff we need to get to beyond that, but that is an absolute easy fix.
Yeah, let's get you through it winter first.
All right.
Cool.
Let's wrap it up. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, guys.
Benny, you're off. Matt. Nice one. All right.
Thanks for tuning into today's episode. If something resonated with you, then do one of two things. Either leave a review or send this episode to a mate who's in the industry who might need to hear this. But if you want more right now, because your head might be spinning and you're like, all right, what the hell do I do right now? Then in the show notes, you'll find a link to where you can book in for a free 15-minute checkup on your studio, where we get to have a look at how you're going right now and where some of the kind of quick win opportunities are to get you moving faster. I can't wait to be back in your ears next week. And if you're listening to this right now, I want you to know that I love you, I appreciate you, I'm grateful for you, and I'm in your corner. You are on the right track, and I believe in you. So keep going, and I'll see you next week.